Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. Look, I have some notes that I want to share with you guys. I'm having to do this in my truck. Trying to be a little bit more private when I communicate these messages to you guys. So let me go ahead and begin with the notes. Now, we all know that when working in the intelligence community, you got the good guys and then you have the bad guys and everybody else in between, try to fall in place and do their job to their best ability, whether it's good or bad. It's just how it is, dealing with, certain groups. So let me go ahead with the notes. When working within the intelligence community, there are groups that don't want you speaking out about delicate information pertaining to classified information. So I get followed by different groups within the alphabet letter agencies. Be careful, guys, because it's not just us guys that work with the military. There's other people out there too that are being targeted by different groups within the intelligence community. We're talking about the alphabet letter agencies, and there's other groups too. And it has a lot to do with electronic. People are being monitored by other groups, other companies that see you as a threat. And these are just, basic individuals that have come across information. They're starting to awaken and they get followed. You guys know about that. So I don't have to worry about you guys here. If you understand my information, then you understand, what's going on. But it is getting better. I can say that there's other groups like us that combat, these nefarious agendas, dealing with the Masons and all these Masonic orders that are out there. Okay, but nevertheless, be careful. The people in the intelligence community have the technology to hack low conscience people. They can program them through the Wi-Fi system, and we know this. If anybody has taken the vaccines, they have nanoparticles within them that can replicate. They have RNA that can rewrite your DNA. But even the food that we eat, there are certain metals within the food. There are certain nanites within the food that they deliberately put in there that goes within our not the immune system, but the nervous system. Okay, so it attaches itself to certain parts of our nervous system, and then through that, the Wi-Fi and these satellites, they can not only track us, but they can they will know our thoughts. They will know what we're thinking, where we're going. It's like having a tracking system, but you are being tracked by these groups. They want to get it to where they can like truly hijack the consciousness and then take it over, but they can't. It's hard for them to do it because this is our body and our soul is connected to the body, and the soul will literally fight to keep the body in function in its free will order. Anyway, I don't have to worry about you guys. You guys know when your mind is being influenced by outside forces. Okay, so you already know that. You monitor how you treat each other, how you think, how you interact with people. Of course, things can trigger us to take on a more lower conscience or more lower vibration, and then they can hack that, and then piggyback off of that and rev things up So if you're in an argument or you just nitpicking with people for no damn reason, you'll get people like that will be drawn to you to mess with you, just to throw you off, to lower your guard so that you can be hijacked by, or not just hijacked, but hacked, periodly hacked by their technology. Also, they can be used to gang stalk you. I have government agencies that follow me. Agencies send out their agents to follow me, and I see this all the time. And it comes in many forms. It can come in the form of gang stalking, but it also can come in the form of them being legitimate agents that they get orders to follow me. They want to monitor. They want to monitor where I'm going at. They want to see who I'm talking to, who is passing information to me, and who am I passing information to. So that's what it's all about. And I've seen them. I've seen Chinese. There's this one. He's got to be working with one of these intelligence community, more or less, the CIA. He's Chinese, and they show up at my when I'm training in the gym. They show up at my job, and they'll show up there too as well. But I just pretty much give them the finger, and just so that they know that I know who they are. They're not really that intelligent, even though they work in a intelligence community or an intelligence agency. They're not intelligent people at all. I'm able to psychically locate them. So if they come in proximity of me, I know who they are, because we've been trained through the Montauk projects to be psychic soldiers, and then when we get older, we get funneled into the military, and we choose what side we want to play for. It's all Illuminati groups, okay? And just because you hear the word Illuminati does not mean that they are nefarious or bad. There are some military high-ranking people that work for the Illuminatis, but they are white hats. It's just because their status, they have to be within that community. They have to join that community because of their status and who they are. But they combat a lot of the nefarious things here on the planet. So yes, not all Illuminatis are negative. They are actually most of them that work for the white hats. They take down a lot of the bad guys, and I mean eliminate. Like, they don't play. They go in and eliminate. So yeah, I make it very obvious at times. 90% of the time, I will make it very obvious that I notice them, just so that they know that they're not good at their jobs. So yeah, I also track them. So not just me. We also track them back to their locations. My eyes are the Galactic Council eyes. I have implants that can track my location on planet and off planet and in other dimensions. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That way you can get a better understanding. My galactic implant. That's my implant here. It's right up under the skin. You guys can see it. That's an implant. That is the implant that I talked about at when I was at James Rink's conference. Now, I deliberately shaved my head so that you guys, especially the new people, so that you see how we work. That is a galactic implant. That came in at the age of 3 years old when I was, you know, able to understand consciously. You know, that's when the Federation said, okay, I'm at the age now where I can, you know, consciously understand how to move my body, my surroundings. You know, I was at that level that they can, you know, go ahead and implant and monitor me at that age, and then begin to work with other hybrid children that came in under the law of oneness, came in under the Christ conscience, so that I can be doing the work that I'm doing today. So it was already ordained for me to do this. So that implant right there, and I have several implants. I have military implants in the mouth through the Navy Alliance. So that implant, that galactic implant, I can be tracked anywhere, and doesn't matter whether I'm on the planet or off the planet, or if I'm in the astral realm or in another time period, I can be tracked. And this is the last time I'm going to say this. Greer had a hard time. He got a taste of what happens when you take someone without their consent. And don't mess with the super soldiers. Any group, don't mess with the super soldiers, because you put yourself really in harm's way. You know, this is why ships show up over military bases sometimes. It's because they have people that they should not have in their facilities. Okay, let me just get back to the note. Okay, so that implant, and so I have galactic implants, and then I have White Hat Military Navy Alliance implants. I also have technology in the chest, and I'll talk about this real briefly, real quick. There was a time where I had to go to the hospital, and I had to get an X-ray of my chest, and the nurse, when she saw things there, she didn't really understand what she was looking at. So she came into the room. She came into the room where I was at, and she was like, well, I have to get a second opinion on something. She said I had to get a second opinion on something in my chest. And she came back, she said, do you have chest implants? And I told her, no, I don't have chest implants. And then she went out of the room again, and then she consulted with a doctor. Now, this was a nurse. This was like one of the head nurse. And she came back, and she was like, well, you know, we just need you to watch and monitor any type of growth. I knew what it was. It's technology. It gives us the ability to shapeshift. Like when we go on military missions, we have certain technologies in us that gives us the ability to grow in size. I told you about that. Sometimes they will put our consciousness in another avatar, but sometimes no. We have technology that can my buddy James Rings, my friend and comrade, he talked about this as well. They call it hucking out. And there's been times where I've gone on missions and I haven't digressed to my normal height, and sometimes, my son and my soon-to-be ex-wife would notice that I'm a little taller than what I normally am. But I never mind explaining this stuff to people that don't get it, like they really don't fucking get it. So you guys understand it. You know what it is. If you know anything about my lab projects, the Montauk projects and psychic programs of that nature, yes, we have technology in us. And I know damn well that they have like files on me, like secret files in their hidden archives within the hospital. Those are not for even certain nurses. They're for head doctors, and most of the time, these are doctors that work with the intelligence community. They work with government agencies, and they keep shit classified. Like, shit will not be on the records that should be on the records. Okay, let's get back to the notes. The Epstein files is disclosure. The reptilians, the canine beings, the Aryan supermen race, okay? The hybrid programs slavery on planet and off planet into Mars colonies and beyond. So it's just not Mars where people are being taken here. So when you guys know about the history of humans being taken off planet, and they tell you like how many people in so many months, so many years have been coming up missing and they are never found. Well, they go into like slave colonies. Some of these people are in like hybrid programs underground for reptilians that are here, and they go into all kinds of governmental projects, governmental experiments, human organ harvesting, all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit they go into. That will be in the Epstein files. And let me tell you guys something. So when Trump could not keep things under wrap, when he could not hold the files back, because he's in there now, he's in there. So his advisors came up with a scheme. Well, since the information is coming from an outside source that they cannot control, guys, they can't control this. It's just like another group, like almost anonymous, but these are white hats within. They're here on the planet, but some of them are coming from the galactic councils too. We're talking about other groups other than Solar Warden that are making sure that these files get released. And a lot of them are going to be unredacted. So the Trump team tried to take things out of the files pertaining to him. We all know about this. He tried to take it out of the file pertaining to him. But they have ways of unredacting what was redacted, okay? So, and it's going to mention him doing some stuff, man, to young kids, okay? So you guys need to understand it and stop taking, I'm not talking about you guys. You guys know this. They are all about divide and conquer. All of them, the Democrats and the Republicans at the top, they are the same. They are the same, okay? And if the Anunnaki and the reptilians can't control you, they will replace you with a clone, okay? So that's the trick. That's the Archon game, to keep mankind divided, dumbed down, and fighting against each other over this red and blue, which is symbolism. It is the two families that the Archons control. Okay, let's get back to the notes. This information is not to put mankind in a state of fear or disbelief. This is to let mankind know exactly what's been going on right under the nose through the corrupt government structure and their Masonic institutions. Okay? We're talking about the Masons now and all of their Masonic institutions. It's not just the Masons, there's a lot of other groups, guys, that you know about. Okay? The Jesuits, these Jewish lines that their god is Lucifer. You all are my Starseed family. I haven't let you down. So Trump has fooled a lot of people into thinking he was going to drain the swamp. And he's hiding information that had exposed him on many different levels. But look, guys, when we look at this, you can't just look at Trump as being the bad guy. He is a puppet within this arena. There are beings above him, okay? There are beings above him, and he's not even the real Trump, okay? The real Trump has been dead for a very long time, and I had to come across this information. Like, the real Trump has died like back in the 80s, okay? These people assume other people positions in life, and they take over who they were. We're talking about body snatchers, okay? People that have been dead and that somebody else is taking their place. Okay, let's talk about this. Israel was behind going into the IRS and removing fraud details dealing with the global elites. No one was arrested. Okay, so they went in. They come up with they create a problem and then lie about having a solution. It was all to go in there and remove fraudulent information that pertained to these global elites. No one got arrested. Okay, and they supposedly had found all this money, and then with the extra money, everybody was supposed to get checks. None of that shit happened. Okay, they removed. The Democrats had deals with them, and the Republicans had deals, and they all at the top went along with it. So anybody from the Democrats and the Republicans that had fraud on them within the IRS, they went in. The Luciferians went in.
I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian.
All right, put on your tinfoil hats, guys, because today we're talking about vril parasites. These beings are considered to be an intraterrestrial reptilian species. Some call them vril type 1 lizards. They're allegedly parasitic, carnivorous, and malevolent entities that love to engage in sadistic and debaucherous behavior. They have an appendage called a proboscis at the top of their head that detaches, and their entire consciousness can be injected into a human's eye to take over their body. Once it enters the body, it swirls around the optic nerve and then proceeds to an area of the brain where it will excrete the parasitic cells and kill the human. After taking over the body, it's called a drone. Here's a picture of Dolly holding one up with what seems to be an injured person behind him, possibly someone who was just droned. It's believed that this is why you see so many high-ranking officials and celebrities with these gnarly black eyes. It is pretty weird when you think about it, because how many people do you know that have ever had a black eye in their entire life? Oftentimes, these parasites are able to retain the former human's memories and are able to replicate their behaviors. This makes it easier for the parasite to assimilate and not cause suspicion from the victim's immediate friends or family. Basically, these reptilian beings will use human hosts in high-ranking positions to gain control and influence so that they can serve the Illuminati and other occult societies' interests. This is allegedly why you're often seeing depictions of the all-seeing eye. To prevent the breakdown of the human host body, apparently the Vril needs to regularly ingest stem cell-rich blood. We've heard plenty of stories of celebrities drinking blood and harming babies. It's possible this is why there's such a large-scale agenda to promote abortion and fund Planned Parenthood. Women are also pushed to give birth in hospitals where their placentas are often stolen and sold to the highest bidder. So how can you tell if someone's been droned? Aside from the very blatant black eye followed by around 2 weeks of sickness, a lot of drones lose their hair early in life, male and female. Some of them are devoid of intelligence, so they don't understand dry humor or sarcasm. They also exhibit psychotic behaviors such as lack of empathy and sympathy. They enjoy engaging in deviant acts of perversion, self-gratification, and even torture. I think this theory is super interesting. I want to believe that the people in power who commit these horrifying atrocities are not human, but what do you guys think?
Have you guys heard about this guy, Peter Nygaard, who was associated with Jeffrey Epstein and was a complete vampire who would prey on women not only to essay them, but to take their blood? Take a look at this clip.
If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, placenta, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And the craziest part is he would impregnate women and then encourage them to get an abortion so that he could use their blood for stem cell research. And he's had a few kids come out of this because some women absolutely refused.
You know how I look so young? It's the blood. It's the blood of the youth. It's the blood of the babies. Everybody gives me their blood. Everybody gives me their blood. I'm I'm thinking he high or he drunk.
A lot of people think people online are being dramatic or sensationalizing this when these people were actually going for children's blood because they thought it was the fountain of youth. He's just one of many, and I'm sure positive it's still going on.
I woke up to hearing another representative of our fine country say that they're all in it. That's it. Raise the black flag. No quarter will be given. Here's where you start. Your local sex offender registry. Every one of them. You want to question them? Fine, question them. I don't give a shit. Kill them. Kill them. Bring them to the town square and hang them. If they're a child sex offender, they're dead. No questions asked. Dead. All of them. Secondly, police, law enforcement, security, military, you should all step the fuck down right now. Right now. The people that are your bosses are facilitating the fucking shit. They're helping. You can't tell me they're not. You can't. Now you can't. If the politician is getting away with it, if they've been getting away with it this much, then the people designed to protect us are the ones helping them do it. Nurses, doctors, lawyers, judges, every one of you step down and find the rats in your fucking pack. It's time to clean house. I don't want any politician's house left standing. And I don't want the movie stars, not one movie star, to ever feel comfortable in the United States of America again. Hunt them all down.
The following video details the contents of a Department of Defense document entitled Internment and Resettlement Operations, also known as FM 3-39.40. The document is 325 pages long and it is signed by Joyce E. Morrow, Administrative Assistant to the Secretary of the Army. It was created in 2010, however, it's just been recently leaked to the public via the internet and can now be downloaded from multiple sources. In the description below, you'll find a download link for the document. I strongly encourage you to download it yourself and to verify everything that's being said here. The document outlines military procedures for internment and resettlement of civilians, and it describes the layout and the administration of these internment camps. It clearly states on page 38 that it applies within U.S. territory, and it specifically addresses the detainment of U.S. citizens, as is indicated by the identification procedures for new prisoners on page 146, which states that social security numbers are to be recorded alongside their photograph and fingerprints. Included in the list of organizations which may be involved in these internment operations are the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, the Department of Defense, and the United Nations. On page 56, the document outlines the responsibilities of psychological operations officers within the camps, among which it states that a PSYOP officer develops and executes indoctrination programs to reduce or remove antagonistic attitudes and identifies political activists. On page 281, the document goes into more detail regarding the role of psychological operations within the camps, specifically in regards to pacifying the population and ensuring cooperation. On page 238, it gives the conditions for the use of deadly force in such camps. Among the justifications for lethal force, it includes to terminate an active escape attempt. That point right there should make it clear that these camps are not benevolent disaster relief type facilities. On page 244, the document calls for the use of snipers during riots to, quote, scan a crowd and identify agitators and riot leaders for apprehension and fire lethal rounds if warranted. On page 260, it shows the basic layout for a facility focusing on detainment. It is depicted with interrogation areas, tribunal areas, and mortuaries. Each detainment facility is designed to hold 4,000 prisoners, and they are depicted with multiple levels of barbed wire separating compartments within the facilities, with a double barbed wire fence enclosing them, and watched over by 24 guard towers. On page 261, the document depicts the layout for what they call civilian resettlement facilities, which are designed to house 8,000 people. Though it uses the word resettlement, the plans show multiple levels of barbed wire dividing the sections of the facility, with double barbed wire fencing on the outside, as well as 16 guard towers. On page 262, the layout for facilities designed for what they call non-compliant prisoners is shown. These camps are designed to hold up to 300 prisoners, they have 3 interrogation centers, and are guarded by 13 guard towers. Now, if there's any question whether these plans are active or just theoretical, this should be settled by the fact that the U.S. Army has been running ads for job positions in these camps since 2009, and apparently, they're still hiring. Once again, if you look in the description, you'll find all the links you need to verify this information. It's important to note here that this document was created in 2010, which was under the Obama administration. And it predates the NDAA of 2012, which authorized military detainment of U.S. citizens. This clearly shows a long-term agenda at work. If you believe that this is important information for people to know about, then please share this video with as many people as you can. Share it on Facebook and on Twitter. Send it in emails to friends and family. Especially send it to anyone you know within the police and military. A smart strategy would be to download the PDF yourself and email it to people as an attachment with a link to this video so that they know how to navigate the document. If you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel, Storm Clouds Gathering on YouTube. For bonus content, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Storm Clouds Gathering, on Twitter at Collapse Updates, and our website, stormcloudsgathering.com.
This may be the craziest thing I have ever reported on, but breaking news: Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has addressed the United States public. That's right, to me and you. And he is demanding that us on the far right and all of you on the far left need to be dealt with. A foreign leader is demanding that the United States government eliminates their own citizens based solely upon their politics. Read that again, guys. The Prime Minister of Israel, not the President of America, the Prime Minister of Israel is demanding that American citizens are dealt with immediately. He wants all of his critics like me and you silenced, and he wants us all eliminated and enforce compliance for the masses. So anyone who questions our unconditional support to our greatest ally in Israel, the unlimited aid so that they can have health care for all, college tuition for all, any concerns about dual citizenship, and AIPAC contributions to virtually 99% of our politicians, you need to be eliminated, according to Netanyahu. Well, on behalf of all American patriots, Netanyahu, you can go fuck yourself, buddy.
Major donors, they have total control over every single thing, and they pull the string.
The first bill that I'm going to bring to this floor will be in support of our dear friend Israel.
If this capital crumbled to the ground, the one thing that would remain is our commitment to our aid, our cooperation with Israel.
Were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel.
But make no mistake,
Israel will have the firm support of the United States.
Israel today, Israel tomorrow, Israel forever.
Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years. Our economy has degraded, the suicide rate has jumped, public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern.
And he loves Israel too.
It's true.
This is our first Jewish president.
There are people in Trump's White House that are plotting to kill American soldiers. Yeah, you heard that right. They're plotting to kill American soldiers on behalf of Israel. So the plan is to have Israel attack Iran, knowing that Iran will retaliate. So we have stationed American soldiers in Israel. And so when Iran attacks Israel back in retaliation, they're hoping that they will hit the American soldiers that we have staged there as fodder, as sacrificial lambs that will force America to go to war with Iran. We have people in Donald Trump's White House plotting to kill American soldiers on behalf of Israel. I don't know how many examples we need before we realize that this special ally of ours is the enemy that we need to rid ourselves of. There's absolutely no benefit to being allied with Israel. There's no benefit. They are selfish. Every single action is for them, at the expense of everyone else. Netanyahu has been pushing for a war with Iran for many, many, many years. He pushed for war with Libya. He pushed for war with all these other countries in the Middle East. Hey, if you get rid of this person, if you get rid of this regime, this particular leader, everything will calm down in the Middle East. Hey, if you get rid of Saddam Hussein, you kill him, you get rid of him, everything will calm down in the Middle East. And we do it on behalf of Israel. And the problem persists. Why? Because Israel is the problem. The corrupt Zionist leaders like Netanyahu are the problem. All they care about is expanding Israel, not protecting it. And so now we have politicians in the White House plotting to kill American soldiers on behalf of this special ally. This is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Update on the Baal statue that was burned in Iran today. Apparently there was 3 statues, as well as this photo right here with some characters you might recognize, as well as some symbols you might recognize. There's also a couple professionally shot videos of these statues being burnt. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but here's a little clip of each one. This video ends with this screen right here. It says, "We, the monotheists of the world, by the help of God, will bring down the worshippers of Baal, the worshippers of Satan, and the arrogant oppressors."
Our 21st century long national nightmare has turned into Donald Trump's worst nightmare tonight, after 2 days of stunning news reports that began with freelance journalist Roger Sullenberger and now include the reporting of this network and the New York Times about documents that have been withheld from Congress in violation of the law, documents that relate to criminal conduct by Donald Trump that includes the rape of a child, the possible rape of a child. And that has led Congressman Robert Garcia, the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, to ask the Attorney General of the United States a simple question, to ask if the president is under investigation for assault and sexual abuse of a child. Congressman Garcia put the question in writing to the Attorney General today with a first sentence unlike any ever written about a president of the United States. Quote, I write concerning the alarming revelation that the Department of Justice is withholding materials in the Epstein files relating to alleged sexual abuse of a minor by Donald Trump. Congressman Garcia's letter describes the alarming revelation this way. Quote, this week, Roger Sullenberger and NPR each reported that DOJ has withheld more than 50 pages of interviews conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, as well as notes from conversations with the woman who accused Trump of sexually assaulting her as a minor. After recently reviewing unredacted files at DOJ, I was also able to independently confirm that the department has in fact been withholding FBI interviews with a survivor who accused Trump of sexual abuse and violence. The Epstein materials further show that the FBI took these allegations seriously, forwarding them to the FBI's headquarters in Washington, D.C., and interviewing the victim 4 times. Suspiciously, only the first interview, which does not detail the allegations against President Trump, remains in DOJ's public database. Internal DOJ documents, which I have personally viewed unredacted, make it clear that the survivor made additional specific allegations against President Trump, which are not reflected in the records of the first published interview. Additional reporting by Roger Sullenberger and NPR support this conclusion. In response to these disturbing revelations, DOJ refused to address the specific reasons for the withholding of these materials, noting only that it is suppressing documents that are duplicates, privileged, or part of an ongoing federal investigation. If DOJ is actively investigating allegations of sexual abuse leveled against President Trump by an Epstein survivor, Congress and the American people have a right to know immediately. DOJ must specify the exact grounds for the withholding of FBI interviews containing specific allegations against President Trump, as well as provide an update on the status of any ongoing investigations into allegations of sexual assault against President Trump. While Congressman Ro Khanna was trying to convince members of Congress to force a vote on the release of the Epstein files, Donald Trump's Justice Department was adding to the Epstein files by creating new documents that could conveniently summarize accusations against Donald Trump and Prince Andrew and Les Wexner and other prominent names. That was the heading of an FBI PowerPoint, according to NPR, prominent names. And the most prominent of those names was the first name identified by that PowerPoint, Trump. And the first item in that PowerPoint is what Congressman Garcia is demanding more information about.
I'm from Tracy, California. This was recorded by my iPhone in Laguna and Holly. So this is to let you know how the extraterrestrials take over the people and then pretend to be the people that are living there. And I'm showing you this because, once again, I apologize for not having like the highest quality, video that you all expect. But if I did have higher quality, it wouldn't be real. And this is just to let you know, this is coming directly from my iPhone. And I'm just showing you this because these are extraterrestrials in ionic plasma suits. And this shows you how your neighbors, if you don't pay close attention to them, you won't even know that they're not even human. So this is extraterrestrials, and you can see what's going on. And I slowed it down so you guys could see how their suits operate when they have ionic plasma suits that operate on holograms. Just so you guys could see. Like, you want to focus on what's going on in the skull area or the head area, like with this individual, and then the elbows. You can see all this craziness that's happening, and that's just what happens when, they take over a person and are using ionic plasma suits. We could see it a lot in, Biden, Trump, people in leadership. But I'm just showing you how extraterrestrials are real. And this is what they do. They take over people in your neighborhood, and then they pose as them, and you don't even know, because a lot of you guys can't even identify, that they're not even real because of their holograms that they use on their plasma suits, incorporated with AI. But I'm just showing you this so you guys could see. It isn't the fact that I have low quality imaging and you can see the other stuff that's going around in the background. But just so you guys could see the extent of this. And when they decapitate someone, they take over their person after so many hours of recording their voice, mannerisms, the way they speak, so that they could deceive you all by using AI to mimic their emotions. And a lot of you are noticing this in celebrities, people in power, that they're no longer real, that they look different. And this is why if you put video with infrared, that's the key, infrared cameras, that you'll be able to detect all these anomalies. And I'm just showing you here so you guys could see the distortions, because if you were to record a normal person, it should not look like this, And I know there's people that are following me that live in Tracy, California, and are unaware because this is a small town and they target small towns, like that individual there that you've seen right in front of you. He actually has no children, never married, and they target certain individuals to take over, because little by little they take over cities without all you knowing, so that you guys could never see the transformation or changes. But if you pay close attention, you'll see how they act different.
So, guys, do you remember 2 years ago, for the ones that's been here with me for quite a while now, do you remember I talked about, there were people that was wondering if the white hats were doing anything, the white hat military, they were, concerned, why is all of this stuff going on, with Hollywood and the music industry and the government structure all being tied to, the human trafficking, the cannibalism, the reptilians and the Anunnaki. Like, why isn't the white hats? People really thought that, we were not doing anything. Well, we were. And I told you that, that fire, these fires have been burning for a long time. And this goes all the way back to ancient Egypt, and even Atlantis, that a lot of this stuff that you guys are just being privy to, like right now, this stuff has been going on since the biblical days and before. And that these fires, they were spreading over time and evolving as mankind was evolving their consciousness and growing and changing. So were these fires in many ways. They evolved. They didn't stay like in the ancient days, like like in the medieval days. Everything changed. The way we talk, the way we look, the way we dress. And so did the occult. It changed. It evolved with us, but stayed hidden. But they were still fires. Fires that turn from how things were, with the Pope, from the religious standpoint to, they had hidden tunnels even back then with the reptilians, the Catholic, Roman Catholic, and even Rome were doing some of the same things that P. Diddy was doing, but it was different back then. All of this stuff, it evolved, it changed as we begin to change, but the fire stayed burning. We just didn't understand it because, our conscience level were being kept at a basic understanding. We begin to they always wanted us to worship certain things that shine, things that bling, um, fame, fortune, even news. Once news started changing and they created television, they were telling a vision that they wanted us to believe. And it was an illusion to keep us dumbed down and sedated. It kept us obedient. It kept us wanting. It kept us chasing the illusion. All while they continued to plan, the occult, the Masons, the Jesuits, the Zionists, and all of these other groups. It all became secret societies. And these secret societies involved corporations, businesses, governments, building a structure around us that can monitor us and shape the way we think by keeping us fighting amongst ourselves with Democrats and Republicans. It's just two separate lines, one in control. And yes, at times they work together, but the system was always meant to divide and conquer. Now, all of this stuff is coming out. All of it's coming out because we have been also the star seeds incarnating with the memory of knowing what the mission was to awaken humanity, to help unite us once again so that we can remember what the true mission was here. Staying in the Christ conscience, the true light, the true source of God, to combat the darkness that had inverted our organic matrix system, the fallen angels, and the fallen angelic human line. We had to combat with the Christ light and the law of oneness. We are now on track with these timelines and everything is coming out. This is the moment of the awakening worldwide. The Epstein files is the UFO disclosure. Once you guys begin to understand how deep this goes, and I'm talking about us incarnating into specific organizations. I told you guys, I've lived many lives doing some of the same work that I'm doing now with the white hat military. Knowing how the human trafficking has been with the Nazis, okay? And they had secret deals with the reptilians. The reptilians helped the Nazis evolve, and then they at some point joined them in the pursuit of their own evolutional line to becoming these super Aryans and venturing out into space, but being like henchmen of the reptilians, joining them in to go up against their enemies, the reptilian enemies, all while, gaining more knowledge, gaining more things to evolve themselves. They are Dark Fleet. So the Epstein files will take you in an avenue where mankind, in certain stages, guys, because it has to come in certain stages, okay? It has to be that way so that your mind is not overloaded like with the ET reptilian shape-shifting stuff, because that's what they were. That's what they are. A lot of the people at the top are shapeshifters. They are reptilians. And they wear human skin, like how we put on coats and clothes and stuff like that. No, these guys know how to grow human skin. We call it synthetic pseudo-human flesh. It is grown. And these reptilians, they wear it like a costume. They are master genetics, okay? I'll give them that. They are master genetics, but they've been doing it for a long time. They had the time to do this. Humans been around for a long time. So that's no brainer. They can do that stuff. The things that you would think are impossible is not impossible for them. They've been doing this for a long time. So the white hats, military, Earth Alliance, Navy Alliance, we also have been putting out a lot of these small fires over time with our galactic allies.
Apparently, there was 3 statues,
which
as well
you guys
as this
know
photo
about.
right here with some characters you might recognize,
okay,
as well as some
so
symbols you might recognize.
Just
There's also
stay
a couple
patient.
professionally shot videos
Stay on
of these
task.
statues being burnt. I'm not going to show you
and
the
let
whole
me just
thing,
say,
but here's a little
guys,
clip of each
there are
one.
people that do not understand just how widespread this is. So there are white hats.
This video ends with this screen
Just
right here.
like
It says,
how
"We, the
I would
monotheists of the
infiltrate
world,
the
by the help of
Nazi
God, bring down the
organization
worshippers of
in
Baal,
other
the
lives, where I
worshippers
was
of
blonde
Satan,
hair, blue
and the
eyes, and I
arrogant
had a
oppressors."
team, a female and a male. We spoke proper German. I was blonde hair, blue eyes, and we infiltrated one of the Hitler bases. But also, in another past life, I was a black female and I was a Nazi officer, and we were into human trafficking. I know all about it. Okay. And we would take humans in these shipping containers, just like Sounds of Freedom. Those same ships that we use into international waters that bring goods from other countries, we will use those same containers. Those same containers were filled with people in there. We're talking about men, women, and children. We also had goods, clothing goods, products as well. All kinds of products. The same products that you guys have here, we would take off planet as well. But our main thing was the human trafficking, because the Nazis had deals with many ET races out there that vibe with service to self. Okay, they wanted humans. They love our genetics, and we could build things. Okay, not only just the hybrid programs that we had out there, but we could build things better. we can construct things better. So, and for many cases, we were food for these other ET races as well. Okay, so wrap your mind around all of this stuff. Okay, but the Nazis were the first ones to establish interstellar capabilities. They were the first ones. Um, they became allies of the reptilians and these particular Nazi Aryans. Um, they are from Sirius B. Some of them are from the Orion constellation. They have a caste system, and you guys would think that, this is the fallen angelic human line I talked about. They are the Republicans. They look human. They are the fallen angelic humans, and they represent the Republicans. The reptilians, they are blue bloods. And if you cut them, they will bleed blue because they are copper based. Um, that's who they are. They bleed blue, so they are the Democrats here, and everything is based off of symbolism. Okay, you have not been told the whole truth of what you've been participating in, and they need your consent to rule over you because of your free will. Mankind must understand just how deep this is. Once you begin to break the illusion, to break the mind control that they have, and they use technology and the reptilians, as William Tompkins stated, they spray a gas. This gas, it makes you sedated. It keeps you in the loop. It keeps you not focused on what is really going on. It's a concoction of gases that keep you dumbed down, sedated, keep us working in a system that was never really meant for us to evolve. But we are evolving. We are seeing through the illusion. The veil is coming down. And this is what we have been wanting. This is your moment, the human race. And I will say again, the Epstein files are the UFO disclosure. Now, Trump did not want any of it out. But since he is not in control of this information right here, the Epstein files and the UFO release did not come from him. But since he cannot control it, he came up with his team of advisors are putting it out there that it's all coming from him. No. He is listed in the Epstein files. He is listed. He had made deals with the Nazis, Dark Fleet, for ICE to do this. ICE is Dark Fleet. ICE controls, Dark Fleet controls the White House right now. But what this outside source is doing, we're talking about galactic councils now. They can't control this information. They can slow it down. Okay, with their AI sophisticated system through their dark military industrial complex. But we also have our own sophisticated quantum AI system as well that is combating and putting and releasing information out for you guys to see. So a lot of the files that was redacted are being unredacted and being inseminated into the human population so that you can see it's going to come in stages, guys, because they are going to combat this stuff. So we're playing chess with these Illuminatis. Well, I can't drag this on because I have to go on camera and speak to you guys. So Stay focused, stay strong, and we love and honor you always. Have a good day.
The time has come to go within, to lift your head, to see who you've been, so you can remember.
Yeah. Raw Cloud. Voice of the ages. Bringer of truth.
I'm not here to save you. I'm here to remove the veil. You've asked before.
Why am I here? What's this all about? You already know. You just forgot. Yeah. You're looking in the mirror, but you don't see clear. That reflection's smaller than the soul that's there. You're from the source, don't let them distort. You're the infinite flame in a human transport. You felt flashes, power in your veins. Moments you escape what they call mundane. Miracles happen, but you played it off. They didn't recognize the source in the cloth. This matrix was built just to deceive. Cover what's there so you won't believe. Voices at the top keep feeding the lie. Stay in your place, don't question why. But what they don't see, what they can't prepare for, is the day you wake up and you're fully aware. The veil gets torn when the truth goes far. The whole system shakes when you remember who you are.
Remember who you are. You're from the source, you are the star. They try to lock your mind in bars, but you're more powerful than you know you are. Remember who you are. The light was never far. The veil is falling, so break through the dark. It all begins when you remember who you are.
All love with those timelines. See the code in the skyline. Reptile minds wanna confine, but divine don't decline. Multiverse is vast, eternal expansion. We were designed for cosmic traversal. Past lives flashing like captions. Every dimension rehearsals. Fights for the good, fights for the collective. But truth ain't forces perspective. Lift up your head, be receptive. The crown was always reflected. DNA spiral encrypted. Ancient but future predicted. Buried but never evicted. Power inside unrestricted. They feed the shift, they feed the spark. They feed the soul that breaks apart. The false facade, the fake avatar collapses quick when you remember who you are.
Remember who you are. You're from the source, you are the star. They built a cage but left the door ajar. You're more powerful than you know you are. Remember who you are. Go look within, that's where you start. The time is now, it's not too far. The shift begins when you remember who you are. The time is coming. The time has come to go within, to lift your head, to see who you've been, so you can remember.